What's going on, everybody? It is Mantiverse, also known as Manti for short, and as you are familiar with my channel, you know that I like posting unboxing videos in the shape of reels. I do it on Instagram, I do it on TikTok, and I do it on YouTube, but today we are doing something different here, and we are doing a little comparison video between the Mafex Gambit and the CT Toys Gambit. Now, this video isn't a review per se or anything traditional that you may see with other awesome toy reviewers out there in the netizen world. This is more so my thoughts, my personal thoughts on the CT Toys Gambit in comparison with the original Mafex Gambit. Just giving, my thoughts on it and how I feel about it in comparison with the official release and whether or not I recommend it. Funway Toy Store, aka the guys over at CT Toys, they did not send me this figure to do a buyer's review or anything like that. This is purely my opinion. I received this figure in today, and I did a live stream over on my Instagram page, which you can check out at Mantiverse. You can check out that live stream. I went into like a 42-minute spiel about this figure. And basically, this video is just to kind of condense my thoughts and serve as something that is short, sweet, to the point. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So on the left-hand side of the frame here, you have the official Mafex Gambit, as indicated by the box in the background. And on the right-hand side, you have the CT Toys Gambit, indicated by his box in the background. Real quick, just to give a quick comparison about that video. Gambit's going to fall over here. My bad. So let me just stop that from happening real quick. This is the official box for the Mafex Gambit. As you can see here, you have the portrait of Gambit on the front, name, where he comes from, X-Men, Marvel logo, Mafex logo, Medicom Toy. You can also see the portrait on the back, or on the side right here, and he's going to fall. Oh well. He'll be alright. And you get the full array of poses, and also what I tell people to look for when it comes to buying a official release and what it is in comparison to a knockoff. That silver sticker right there that certifies it as the official release. And let me get Gambit from back there real quick. Just sit him back up. Alright, there we go. And here is the CT Toys box. Obviously, CT 131, same as the Mafex number over there. Just a picture, CT logo. Box is noticeably smaller. Does have the poses as well, just without all the official logos and everything like that. Missing the official sticker. As you can see, it's just CT Toy sticker. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into the comparison of the two figures. So, here we are. I'm going to bring the CT Toys Gambit into frame. And I'm going to angle. By the way, I am not using any professional equipment. It's just me and my cell phone. So, apologies for any quality drop or any stuttering or anything like that going on in this video. This is raw footage, so bear with me. Alright, so here we are with the CT Toys Gambit. As you can see here, I have his alternate head sculpt on. I did not leave the default on. I always change it to a different head sculpt whenever I get the chance. Basically, for me, when it comes to my figures, if there's another head sculpt in the box, I pick the one that I like the most, that I feel like represents the character. I put it on my figure, and it stays with that face sculpt on my shelf for however long I have the figure, or until I get sick of the face sculpt and I feel like changing it. So for me, it is that mean, menacing look of Gambit instead of the default look, and that's what I got going on right now. Yeah, so here is the CT Toys Gambit. The jacket is really nice. It's not fraying. It doesn't have threads going all over the place. In comparison with the official, I don't know if you can tell in frame, but there is a slight color difference between the two. The official one is a little more tan, whereas the knockoff version, the CT version, is kind of like more of a mocha color. It's a little bit darker. And by comparison, also, when it comes to the finishes of the two figures, Gambit is a little bit lighter as well. He's got like a little paler tone, whereas there's more saturation with the CT version. And also, now that I'm looking at it, it does look like the torsos are a little bit bigger. Like, I know they were saying that they planned on going 1-to-1 with the originals going forward, which they do nail in terms of height. It does look like the CT one is slightly taller. It could also be the way the head is sitting on the official, but I don't know. Yeah, there is a subtle height difference. It does look like the CT one is ever so slightly taller than the official Mafex version. But yeah, as far as the gradation going on here, this is a little more saturated. It's a little darker in color. This is kind of like a violet color, or so to speak, like going based off of my color perception. This is more like a rosemary color, and it's got a metallic paint finish. You can see like all the glitter going on in the paint there, if my light is kind of registering that. The blues are a little different as well. Like the blue collar over here on the inside, it's kind of lighter, where the the bluish silver metal is more saturated. Then you come over here, it's slightly darker, it looks more of a royal color, but the bluish silver metal here is lighter. As far as the skin tone goes, the CT Toys one it's like he's been in the sun a little bit, whereas the Mafex official one, he's a little more paler. I wouldn't say he's like a vampire in comparison, but you know, if I had to be kind of blunt about it, yeah, he does have that vampire-esque pale gaunt look in comparison. The hair as well, there's a little bit more darkness going on. There's like a darker wash in the hair on the CT version, as the standard is just more flat with a subtle gradation here and there. But yeah, here is the close-up of the figures from head to toe. Now, he's definitely, the CT one definitely has a lot more metallic going on. Alright, in case anybody wanted to know about articulation, it's pretty much 1-to-1 with the official release. So head looks up, head looks down, you know, all around like that. Perfect T-pose, butterfly joints, comes forward about that much. And I know the coat is on. I would take it off. I prefer not to, but, you know, so I'm just trying to get around it as much as possible. And let's see here, then you got the rocker and the torso. Now this is a little stiffer. I haven't really done any heating or anything with my figure. Most of my figures I get lucky with, like right out the box, I can get right into posing and it's no problem. Comes forward, crunches about that far forward. During my live stream, when I did do the crunch, he did pop off. It's easy to pop back on, of course, but that did happen, me trying to be a little extra with my posing. I do love posing the crap out of my figures, so that's just me. Drop down, kick about that far forward. A little bit of a double knee bend there. Oh, and as you can see here, me being extra, I just popped the leg right off, but it's okay. It's not a break. It's clean. Just pop it right back on. No big deal. There we go. So, right back on there. Kick that much back. Out to the side. Get about that far. The toe hinge, I've noticed on CT Toys figures, is a bitch to get loose. I mean, now that one actually, it finally decided to give way. But holy God, man, these figures sometimes, when they come over from China, it's just like some points of articulation are just a pure bitch to get going. But anyway, so yeah, there we go there. And that is pretty much, it just sums up the articulation of the CT. And real quick, you can also see there is a subtle, try and get it in frame. I'm moving out of frame. Whoops. My sense of direction is all over the place. There you go. So there's a subtle QC with the paint there. But hey, what can you expect from a KO? Am I right? But hey, it's all good. So I am going to sit Mr. Gambit back there. He's just going to lean All right, as far as accessories go, it is 1-to-1 with the original Mafex release. So you get the, shaking my camera there a little bit, you get the stand for the effects, you get another flight stand for the figure itself, something CT Toys likes to include with everything. You get his hands, his different hands, as well as his other face sculpt. Give me 1 second here. I'm just fighting with the tray. There we go. So there are the different hands, which you see 2 are missing. That's because I have them in use. The default head right there, as well as all the effects. And again, you know, I'm going to show you guys the other ones. It's just I was messing with it earlier, haven't put everything back in its proper tray. So here we are here. There is his staff with the gripping hand. Real quick, if you do decide to get this figure, fair warning, mine, I kind of had to force it through for the staff. None of the paint rubs or anything like that. It's just like this molding in the gripping part of the hand was really tight. So you're going to want to either A, use heat, or just really wiggle it around as you're trying to push it through in order to push that excess plastic back so that way it does get through. Once it's through, it is on there. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not loose or anything like that. Perfect fit. Mine has a little bit of a cosmetic rub right there. Easy fix with some paint, but I'm not too worried about it because, again, this is a KO and I'm not expecting perfect paint apps. It can be as close to perfect as possible. If it loses some paint, whatever, I can probably fix it. If not, it's, again, just $30. That's all it cost me. So, and then here is the epic throwing effect here. I love this effect. If nothing else, if I didn't like this figure, my original plan was basically to fodderize it by like keeping extra joints out of it, keeping the coat, and then having all of these effects because I love the effects for Gambit. I just wish instead of like the flat version that you do get, it was 2 of this one. Or, you know, you would have just gotten double of each in one solid release. That would have been great. So yeah, anyway, getting back into it, my thoughts here. So, Gambit, the official Gambit, he does retail for an average $150 to about $300. I've seen it. It sucks because this Gambit is probably the best Gambit in the 112 scale. I don't care about any of the Marvel Legends Gambits whatsoever. It was by complete chance that I was able to get the official Gambit at one point in time. I got it in a huge Mafex auction on eBay for like $310. That included, it was Gambit, it was the Mafex 185 red and blue suit Spider-Man, the symbiote suit Spider-Man, and then a sealed on-card X-Men 97 Cyclops, which was thrown in as an added bonus. That was before the reissue got announced, and I wound up winning that for like $310. So for me, that was by luck because trying to get Gambit otherwise was a fucking nightmare. Excuse my language, but it's the truth. That being said, you know, if it wasn't for that, I don't know if I would have a Gambit on the shelf for my X-Men collection. I am extremely grateful that I was able to get my hands on a Gambit. As much as I wanted to pose him around because he was so rare, and we all know as Mafex collectors, or if anybody collects Mafex, you know that Mafex can be kind of hit or miss with quality control, and if you break it, it might be hard to get a replacement, especially if it's one of these rarer figures. But, you know, having it, I had him pose, I did a few poses here and there, and then I just left him alone. So when I heard that CT Toys was doing a Gambit, I was excited because, you know, it's like, hey, my Mafex Gambit is one of my personal grails. So even though I'm a big believer in having things out of the box and posing them up and enjoying action figures for what they are, you know, figures that register as a grail to me, I prefer to have one out of the box and one to keep sealed, or like if I do open it, then I just don't mess with it too much because I don't want to risk breaking it if I don't trust in its durability or its longevity. And, I'll just pose it once or twice, keep it in a case, and that's where it stays, and I try to avert any risk to the figure. But anyway, having the CT Toys Gambit for me opens up like all the possibilities that I wanted to do with my original Mafex Gambit by doing like some stop motion or various photos, really getting into the meat and potatoes of posing and just pushing as far as I can to the max. And honestly, like average 150, 200, sometimes even $300 for this guy or $30 for this guy. My thing is basically, look, I'm not going to stand on a moral compass and try and say, hey, you shouldn't buy, knockoffs. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. You should support the official release. You should support, all the artists and sculptors that work on these figures, yada, yada, yada. For me, I'm not going to do that because at the end of the day, I am a collector, but I'm a human being that has financial obligations, and I want to go with what's going to be easier on my pocket. So with these third-party companies coming out with various releases that are making these hard to find or hard, to get figures that are no longer in production easier to obtain with similar quality, sometimes even better, it's nice. For me, with me having the CT Toys Gambit, since opening it a few hours ago live on my social channels, I haven't really had a chance to mess with it too much, but as I'm messing with it right now, I will say that I'll probably have to put some shock oil on the top part because it is kind of tight in there. He's not crunching the way I like. Whereas if I go over to my Gambit, I mean, yeah, it's a little tight, but it's still easier to move back, come forward, and all of that. I mean, like I said, I like getting absurd with my action figures and posing them in dramatic fashion. I love posing action figures. They are action figures. They are meant to be posed. They are meant to be enjoyed. Not harping on anybody that likes keeping things sealed. I have a number of different figures in my room right now that are sealed on card that I keep on the wall because personal grails or something like that. But when it comes to that, I do one in the box, one out of the box. So anyway, final thoughts here. CT Toys Gambit. Yes, it is great. If you don't have the official release of Mafex Gambit and you were looking for a Gambit, I'm going to flat out say it. Don't waste your money on a Marvel Legends. Don't waste your money on the aftermarket trying to buy a Marvel Legends Gambit. Just go on AliExpress, look up Funly Toy Store, find CT Toys Gambit, and get yourself one of these. $30 for basically the best 1/12 scale Gambit ever made, with a soft goods wired jacket that you can pose and give attitude, with a full array of accessories such as different hands, different card throwing effects, its own stand to support that card throwing effect, his signature weapons, all of that. $30. When I ordered my Gambit, it only took 2 weeks to get here. So that's another thing. CT Toys has been getting better about shipping times. So you are definitely going to start getting your figures a lot quicker from them. I heard that they were trying to open a warehouse in America. They're trying to, help beat that fear of tariffs by having their own warehouse here so they can have a stockpile of their releases and do what they do best. I have heard that they are also, I've heard rumors that they are planning on doing the Mafex Daredevil. So that's another highly sought after Mafex figure as well. So be on the lookout for that. Whether or not that's true We'll see in the coming weeks. But hey, at the end of the day, what you choose to do with your money as a collector is what you choose to do. I'm not saying you should go out and buy it, like, you have to buy this. I am not encouraging you to make that purchase. At the end of the day, I say yes, it is a worthy figure. Yes, it is better than the Marvel Legends. Yes, I enjoy it. I think it's awesome. I think if you get it, you will enjoy it as well. But at the end of the day, action figure purchases are up to you as a collector and what you want in your collection. Now, I have rambled enough. This video just turned into something way longer than what I was intending it to be. Let me know down in the comments what you think, whether or not you were going to pick this up for your personal collection, whether or not you are excited for more CT Toys releases. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Follow me on all my other platforms. You can follow me on Instagram at Mantiverse or follow me on TikTok at Mantiverse. I do unboxing videos. I enjoy toys. What can I say? So without further ado, guys, y'all keep it safe out there. Be true to yourself. Don't let anybody bully you over your collection and keep collecting.